I just had a vision of you staggering out of a pub then, grabbing a notepad out your back pocket and saying, I can't write this down.
Well, to be fair,
I can't write. Write it for me.
No, that's not very nice, is it?
This is the Rising High Extended Tea Break, the game dev podcast bringing you the best practical, actionable advice for indie game developers. Brought to you by RisingHighAcademy.com. The kettle's on, so let's go listen in.
Well, hey there, and welcome to episode 18 of the Rising High Extended Tea Break. My name is Kevin, and I am joined with Gilly today. Hello, Gilly.
Hello, good afternoon.
How are we today?
I'm good, I think.
Alrighty,
Yeah,
so...
I don't know where the time goes.
I know, where has this year gone?
I know.
And we're on episode 18.
I'm still on Monday.
Oh. Anyway, so what have we got on the podcast agenda today?
Let's go over some motivation. Like, why do we get up in the morning? Why do we start these things?
I don't know.
So, top 5 tricks to stay motivated when building your game.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. Staying motivated can really stop you dead in your tracks. I think, for me, motivation really starts with making that commitment. And you don't actually... It's kind of motivation isn't a thing, right? You don't just become motivated. I think it comes down to making that commitment and understanding why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, your goal.
Yeah. Okay, well, listen, we got a list. What's the list?
Well, your first one is make a commitment.
Oh, well, there you go.
Just do it anyway. Start.
Yeah. Start.
That's a good place to start.
You don't find motivation by thinking about it generally.
I think a lot of people do. I think that's where a lot of people just fall down at the first hurdle. They think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll start it next week. Oh, this has come up. I'll start it the following week.
Yeah, exactly. So
and it never quite gets off the ground.
Make a commitment. That says it all.
Even if it's just a small start.
That's right. I mean, we will make a commitment to be starting a project.
Yeah.
And the best way to get motivated there is to start. Now, we can talk about it all we like. We can G each other up, go Gilly, all that rah-rah.
Yeah, it doesn't work sometimes.
No, it doesn't work at all, does it? No, the best way is just to start. And that will actually, the more you do, the more your motivation will increase by the very fact of starting and getting into it.
Yeah, and I think the start of it can come with inspiration as well, like, I really want to make that. Yeah,
that's right. You get all fired up and then you go, oh, yeah, let's do it.
I think there's a certain amount where you have to kind of have that in place.
It's kind of, honestly, it's almost...
Otherwise, you'd just sit in front of your software thinking, well, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, it sort of reminds me of the sort of end of the night drunken pub conversation.
I wouldn't know about that.
No, or would I? But this is what I've heard, is that sometimes people have really good ideas after a few sherbets, and you all get riled up to go, yeah, this is a great idea.
Right, yeah.
We're gonna do it. And what happens the next day?
You're too drunk to write it down.
Well, yeah, there is that. That is a very definite thing. And you wake up and you're hungover, so I've heard, and you can't really remember. But that summarises it pretty well for me, because it's like you get all geared up to do it, but unless you start, then there's no motivation there.
I just had a vision of you staggering out of a pub then, grabbing a notepad out your back pocket and saying, I can't write this down.
Well, to be fair,
I can't write. Write it for me.
No, that's not very nice, is it? Blimey. So, yeah, I think making a commitment, I think that's a really good one. You set that goal and then you just start.
Yeah.
And that is a self-fulfilling prophecy for motivation, because that will then give you the motivation to continue and to keep on going. All right.
Sometimes it's a time set as well. It's like, New Year's resolutions. right, on that day, I'm going to...
Yeah, but the thing is, when you use resolutions, they're normally doomed to fail because you put so much pressure on yourself, and it's just like, well, if you really want to make that change...
Do it straight away.
Why wait?
What's stopping you?
Why wait? Now, there is a thing about... that's a really interesting one, isn't it? Because New Year's resolutions, it's all about starting afresh and turning over a new leaf and all that. Yeah. And there's definitely, there is something to that, but that's usually why gym memberships go up like 100-fold.
Yeah, January.
And then everybody, come July, are saying, I've really got to cancel that membership because I've never used it. Or I used it once. But if you make that commitment and keep going, it's almost habit forming.
Yeah.
And that really, it's like, it's one of those things where you go, and then, but once you're there and you start doing it,
yeah, it's different.
You get the motivation, and especially if you're going down the gym, sort of losing weight sort of scenario. Once you start seeing results,
I think if you can make it a regular thing too, like a regular time slot, or on a weekly basis.
Yeah, make that commitment. So every Thursday, so we spoke about this, I don't know if it was inside the Academy on the podcast or somewhere the other day, we were saying like, right, make Tuesday nights your game dev night.
Yeah, that's right.
And just get everyone on board.
I think it was one of our members who obviously had a small family.
That's right, yeah. No, it was John.
It was John.
Yeah, it was John.
And he was finding it hard to find any actual time.
That's right. And you got
it's like if you were going down the gym, you'd have to actually go. So you kind of use that as your, I have to go to my computer now and I need to spend an hour.
Focus in and get that in and block that out and get your spouse on board and get everyone involved and make sure that everyone knows that, on Tuesdays between 8 and 10.
Yeah, that's right.
John, he's game deving, not to be disturbed. Okay, so let's make a commitment. What we got next?
Set yourself bite-sized, achievable goals.
Yes. So this is where, now we make casual games, which in essence are small. So short development cycle. So unlike, regular, almost proper indie devs, where it's like, a passion 5-year project and blood, sweat and tears, we have to earn a living at this, so we play in the mobile space, which is very short, and we make sure we have short development cycles. So we are not taking on these huge monumental projects that take 3 years in the making. To put that into some sort of perspective, when we set bite-sized achievable is impossible goals for me to say clearly, bite-sized achievable goals, then our whole project is pretty bite-sized in essence, but within that, you can say, right, today I am going to get this character animation done.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you achieve that goal, that in of itself is massively motivating because you can see your progress.
Yeah, it's a tick off the list. It doesn't matter how big the tick is.
Yeah, so we normally will have, we will write down no more than 3 things on our list for any one day, and we'll take the worst one of that list, like the one that we don't want to do, and get that done first. Yeah, because that can be a real killer.
Well, I was going to say that the more you could sit down and write quite a long, lengthy list of the whole process and what you want to do, but that's scary.
Oh, that's massively overwhelming.
It's not really.
If anything is going to kill your motivation, it's that, because you just look at it and you think like, oh my god, it's just like,
and then you think, well, I don't know where to start. So
absolute overwhelm, and then it's a killer. So yes, bite-sized achievable. Why cannot I say that?
See, it's like when we, just jump into Build Box. Our first little chunk is to get something moving.
That's right.
And to see if your idea is going to work. And that in itself can motivate you on.
Exactly.
If it works well and it works good, and then it opens up, well, I can do this and I can do that, and it's smooth and it's solid.
Yeah.
That's just...
That's right. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we get into prototyping early.
Yeah.
And maybe I hadn't really realised that, and I think we definitely do it for another reason, but that certainly helps, Because as soon as
that's our first goal, is just to see if the mechanic's going to work.
Yeah, but that isn't because we need to be motivated, which is what we're talking about today. That's for another reason. But you're absolutely right. When you get something moving, that lifts us and motivates us, going, oh, well, I want to get onto this bit now.
Yeah.
And it's that feeling that you need to keep yourself moving along and, keep yourself motivated, which is, that's a really interesting thing to pick up on there.
It's better in small chunks.
Oh, it is. Without
later on in the project, when you've got bigger chunks to do, you're kind of well into it by then.
Yeah, I think you need to break your projects down anyway.
Yeah. Starting's the hardest bit.
Yeah, just start and just break it down into that first few chunks. And then you reward yourself with little wins, and that helps on the motivation. All right, so what's the next one?
Public accountability.
Yes.
That's I've not heard of this.
Have you not?
Write a contract.
Right, so this is a really weird one, and it really does depend on your personality type. But I have seen plenty of people do this. I've never done it. But this is where you write a public contract. And now it could be like on a Facebook page or anything like on your social network.
Or a piece of paper to a friend.
Or a piece of paper to a friend.
IOU.
Like an IOU. But it's not, that.
Kind of.
Kind of. So what this is, it's like, if I don't have this thingamabob done by Friday, here is a cheque for £100 or $20 or something that you can then have if I don't do what I say I'm going to do. Now this can give you that motivation enough to say, right, I don't want to give you $20 or £100. I'm going to do it. And just by the very fact that you put that, almost like that penalty upon yourself, that repercussion or that loss to yourself, can be enough to trigger you forward to get it done. Now it's kind of
I suppose you could do that in different ways as well. You don't actually it could be a thing like, I don't know, a huge vat of wine that you have sat in your room, and you say, if I haven't done it, the wine's yours.
Yeah, I mean, I think
that would work with you.
That's not why are you picking on me today? I think the point is, it doesn't matter. It needs to be, money's the obvious one, because everyone works on money. All right, so if I don't do this thing by that, I've got to go and wash your car. Or if I don't do this, and I'm doing the what's it for the next 3 weeks, or whatever it is that's meaningful and actually holds value, then it can work if that's your personality type.
Yeah, it does depend on what personality you want.
Yeah, I think so. But I've seen a lot of people do it.
Me, I don't think that would work for me. I think my own self-motivation would work better.
Yeah. So that's
not, everyone's different.
No, that's right. I mean, I like the idea of it. I've got to be honest. I really do.
It's a good idea.
I don't struggle particularly with this, but I think it's a really effective way. And what it does, it does your brain in. It does your brain in as much to say, right, if I don't do this, then this is going to happen.
Yeah.
And
you could actually mix it up, going at it a different way by, like, say if you like going to the gym, or there's a place you actually like to go, a club or whatever, but you can't go until you've done an hour's work.
That's right. It's just like, it's the reward structure.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the reverse.
Yeah.
It's kind of a reverse reward. I can't talk today. I don't know what's happened to English. So yeah, it's kind of that, and take the public accountability heading and this sort of concept and mould it around what would work for you.
Yeah.
It is really powerful. But yeah, it's just like, okay, if we get this done, then we go out to the fancy restaurant Friday.
Yeah, that's right.
It's that, and you can, like I said, you can bend and mould this in any way you want, but setting that sort of reward system in place, or the punishment, in place, it can be enough to get you moving forward, which is ultimately the goal, is to get you onwards and forward in your project.
But you've got to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, this isn't.
You have to do it.
Yeah, this isn't to be taken lightly. This is a thing, right? This is designed around actually getting your desired result. And it's like I said, it's whatever works for you, but it's powerful. And if you're struggling to get something done and you need a kick, then doing something like this can really work, be it reward or punishment. All right. So if you don't get this done by tomorrow...
Oh dear.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, don't break.
What is wrong with English today? You've been on that vat of wine, haven't you?
Don't break the cycle or skip.
No, this is
turn up every day, no matter what.
Yeah, turn up. Show up every bloody day. So this is sort of on par with making that commitment, and this is something that I've done for the last 7 years, or whatever, how long it is. Show up every damn day and do a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be all day. It can be one day building your character, the next day colouring your character.
It could be anything.
The next day making your character do what you want.
I mean, it's going to depend on your structure of your life.
Yeah.
But the point is here, now it's interesting because we mentioned the gym, right? So when you start, it's New Year's Day or the next day or whatever it is, right? And this is like, I've got my gym membership, I'm going to do this thing, I'm all pumped up.
Yeah.
Got my shorts. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You go once, right? That's right. I'm going next week. But something comes up and I can't go the following week. And now getting back.
And that gap.
Yeah. It makes it 10 times harder to start the cycle off again. And
something, well, you could look at it as well. If you go down the gym on January the 1st or the 2nd or whatever day it is, and you stay there too long and you're too exhausted to go.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just stupid, isn't it? Let's face it.
No, that's what I mean. But if you do it in short bursts,
yeah, I think
you
there's
can cope with it better.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I get your point, and it's just like, yeah, don't overdo it because that's going to kill you.
Yeah.
I never forget. I can't remember where it was, but I think we did. I think it was at a Laser Quest, and we were running around like mental cases for about an hour and a half. And the next day I could barely walk.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I didn't warm up or anything.
Straight away you thought, I'm never doing that
again. Never doing that again, yeah, because it crushed me, because I totally overdid it. So yeah, don't break the cycle.
That happened with me as well in aerobics.
Oh.
My friend told me to go with her. No, I'll never do that again. She said, don't forget your water. I thought, what do I want water for? Not thirsty, it's only an hour, but oh my God. I've never sweat so much in my life. It was horrible.
So you didn't do it again? And I never went again. No. So that killed it. But that's not what we're talking about. So yeah, don't overdo it. That's a really good one. But yes, don't break this cycle. Just show up every damn day and just don't, whatever it is, just push through it.
Yeah, get used to dipping in, even if it's a dip in and you end up saying, well, I don't know today.
What's really interesting here is that by doing that every day, especially if you don't want to, it comes right back to starting.
Yeah.
Because what you'll find is it's like, I can't be bothered today. I'm going to do what Kevin says. I know he's an idiot, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to turn my computer on or whatever. I'm going to load it up and I'm just going to look around and pretend that I've done something. So I've shown up. And what you'll find is when you sit down, you will start doing stuff.
Yeah.
And that, by starting, going full circle, gives you the motivation. And all of a sudden, an hour's gone, and you've gone forward. Sorry. So yeah, don't break the cycle. Make that commitment to just do a little bit each and every day, or whatever's reasonable within your own life schedule. Make that commitment to set it, and I would say do a bit every day.
Yeah,
I just think you should, even if you're, especially if you don't feel it. Because that's where the real passion and the grit will see you through which turns into like you got to love what you're doing and you got to be passionate about it. But that's another what's there.
I think as well, if you're committing to either turn up once a day, once a week, whatever it is, when you're into your project, it's easier to cope with.
Yeah.
Because you're used to doing it.
Well, that's it. But it builds up that momentum.
Yeah.
And it's like when, I never forget, there was a guy who'd quit smoking. And I don't remember, it was Steve something or other. It was a work colleague or some sort of, he wasn't really a friend with me. It was just a bloke I knew, right? And I never forget that, I don't know where the conversation came up, but he said he stopped smoking, and because he counted the days.
Yeah.
And you see this from a lot of recovering alcoholics or drug addicts or anything. I know it's going a little bit left field here, but the point is that they're going, well, I haven't had a cigarette in 368 days, right? Mm-hmm. And he knew that if he had a cigarette,
He'd have to start again.
He'd have to reset that counter.
Yeah.
And that was enough motivation for him to never do it again because he didn't want to break his cycle. And it's kind of the same.
His personal cycle.
That's right, yeah. And it's that kind of thing. And it's really, the habit forming stuff here on the motivation is super powerful because it really works. And if you can make that, and it's like, you make the commitment and you just start. And, you can, if you need motivation, and I have done this in the past. I've got a little playlist in YouTube where you get these fancy, rah-rah.
Motivation speakers.
And I'm not really into all that stuff. But sometimes it's just like, I need something. I just feel like, we're not superhuman and all that. I just want a bit of something to pump me up a little bit to get me going.
You want to hear someone else say it.
Yeah, but the trouble is, that's a finite resource. You can't watch a video every day to get razzed up.
No.
Right? So I think it's really, what is really important here is to try and build that habit around showing up, and that in of itself almost fixes the motivation, even by stealth. Okay, what we got then?
Last one, join a community.
Oh yes, join a community.
Like-minded people who won't let you quit.
That's right. So obviously we have the academy with our community, but it doesn't matter. You need to find your tribe. But joining a community can be really, really important to keep you going through the tough parts.
I think it is if you're a solo.
Especially
or, solo with the family commitments as well.
Yeah, especially if you're a solo, because it's a really lonely business. And there's so many benefits to joining a community. And like I said, go and find, there's plenty online. You find the people who resonate and fit with you.
Yeah.
It's all about finding who you gel with, and who shares the same values.
That's right, yeah.
More often than not. Now, obviously, we have a devlog section in our forums where we encourage our members to start off their game devs. Like a blog post. Yeah, like a blog post. Everyone knows what a devlog is, hopefully. But yeah, it could be anywhere. But what that does, that circles back around to public accountability. Because that public accountability,
you post up the process, where exactly you are.
That's right. And when you look at it, you go back and go, "Oh my god, I haven't posted in a week. I better do something." And there you go. Then now
you need to treat it like Facebook. Log in, see what everyone else is up to.
Maybe. I mean, Facebook, I think, will be the biggest motivation killer going. Actually. But I get your point in the fact that you should, you keep an eye on it. Log in and just keep it in. Even if, I always say, even if you have got nothing to write this week, write down that you've done nothing this week. Because, when you look back on that, you think, oh, that's a bit slack. And that then gives you self-accountability, thinking, well, hold on a minute, what am I doing here? Now, it could be at that point, you're going, well, actually, I didn't want to do it in the first place, and I'm giving up. But that fixes it. That fixes something, doesn't it? So it comes back to what we're talking about, finishing your projects and all that. I always think like, I didn't do this. I didn't do much on my game this week because X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, we've had people in the academy actually putting that in their deadlines.
Yeah, and you know what? If you come back and go, I didn't do it because of X, Y, and Z the next week, you're thinking, well, hold on a minute, I need to fix X, Y, and Z a little bit. I need to fix Y, or at least Z, so I do have time to fit it in. But the beauty of the devlog stuff is that people can interact with it.
Feedback.
And you get feedback as well.
If you're solo, you might be so far into your game that you're just in a lost zone, and someone can just say, "Oh, that was great. Why don't you put that in it?"
Yeah, I mean that's what I love about it, because if someone comes up with something that you would never have thought of, just by a different way of looking at things. So the devlog thing has so many benefits, motivation being one of them. But like I said, find your tribe, post your stuff out there, and the beauty, I've got to say it now, we talk about devlog. I mean that actually logs your history of your building the game, which is perfect if you ever want to go and pitch anybody, because you've got a story.
Well, I've looked back on our devlog when we were doing Glide, and the change from the beginning.
Amazing, yeah.
So many different roads.
That's right.
To what it ended up.
Always, yeah. But that's quite that then sort of builds that story around it.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the motivation. So I think joining a community is huge. I personally feel that if you embrace that wholeheartedly, you will definitely move faster and be a better.
Oh, support's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's you might be a solo with you've got a family or a job where people aren't interested in games.
Well, that's the other thing,
and it gives
isn't it?
you somewhere to go to be with people.
It can also be an outlet to rant a bit as well.
Yeah.
This bloody thing, and everyone, and people around you, your spouse or your family or your friends, and you go, "Oh yeah, bloody Xcode again! I couldn't get this thing."
And they go,
what are you talking about, you idiot?
And they switch you off.
Yeah, that's right. Say, "Oh yeah, bye." And so there's all that. So much benefit. Anyway,
I notice if I talk to people I know, my family, and that they just go blank. Anyway.
Yeah, that's what happens, isn't it?
Do you want a cup of tea?
Yeah. What do you do? Oh yeah, yeah. I've no idea what you're talking about. It's like, I know, and I don't even bother. I mean, I just say that we made Angry Birds. That's what I say. You say, Angry Birds? Yeah. No, I didn't make that, but we made games like that. And you go, oh, okay. Anyway, like you said. Anyway, yeah, right. So let's have a quick roundup. Let's keep motivated on this podcast episode. What have we got?
Okay, top of the list. Make a commitment. Do something to start. No matter how small.
Set it in stone, put it on the calendar, book it in.
Set yourself bite-sized, achievable goals. Little steps, little achievements. That so you can just say, that's going to work.
End of the day, look back going, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Rewards.
Public accountability. Write a contract.
Yeah, do something mad. Do something mad that puts you in a situation that gets you outside your comfort zone and put some skin in the game in whichever way you can.
Okay. I'm not convinced, but...
I'm telling you.
I know it does work for a lot of people. Don't break the cycle or skip.
Show up every day.
Turn up.
Don't miss it. Don't skip it, because it's twice as hard to get back on the wagon.
And join a community.
Yeah, find your tribe online. Find somewhere where you can get around like-minded people and share, and they will G you up when you need it and give you advice, and also bring new ideas to the table. And it's so funny as well, just on that last bit, you could be at a real slump that kills your motivation in a project and going, I've done this, I don't know where to go. One sentence from someone go, and now that
you haven't even thought
fires everything back up again, and you are super motivated. All right, Julie, I think we'll wrap that up. I like that one. Bit of motivation.
Yeah.
It's got me motivated to do number 19.
Yeah.
Which you can listen to next week. And if you want to get the show notes for this one, it is risinghighacademy.com/18. Do check out our new course that is open now for registering your interest. That is coming like super, super soon, called Seriously Snackable. All about hyper casual games and all of the good stuff that goes behind that. I am so excited to start this off. We are doing a 4-week boot camp that goes along with this. So loads of live interactions. It's going to be a blast. We don't even know what we're going to be doing yet because the stuff we're going to take apart hasn't been released.
Hasn't been made.
So this is going to be super cool. We are going to look at all the new hyper casual games that are going to crush the store, and we're going to take them apart, and we're going to see exactly how we can use all those aspects to build our games.
Deconstructing.
Yeah, we've done loads of deconstructions already on our anyways. So check that out while you're there. 18 RisingHighAcademy.com/18 for this one. And yeah, that I think is that. And let's get motivated to go back to work, Gilly.
Yes, I'm motivating my way to the kettle.
All right.
You've been listening to the Rising High Extended Tea Break. To learn more about the resources mentioned in today's show, or to find out more about the Rising High Academy, visit RisingHighAcademy.com. That's RisingHighAcademy.com.